You look different. Where are you from? Where do your parents come from? Their parents. Their parents. Are you from India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, the Middle East? What island do you come from? Trinidad, Jamaica? Oh, you speak English very well. You're native? Seriously? You're too dark to be native. No. These are the questions my family, myself, and countless other Black Indians face every day. Now that you know I don't come from anywhere else, let me bend your ear and tell you who we are, where we come from, and where we are going. Are you ready? Let's begin our journey. You see, in my family oral history, thousands of years ago we started a migration from the mouth of the St. Lawrence Seaway and migrated to where we are today. Our migration saw many of our people meet others along the way and stay with them, but still, others continued the journey all the way to Malden Township in Ontario. Many of our people moved to the north and some moved to America, but my family called Malden home. In 1790, we were part of a treaty that allowed us to stay on our land. But, as in North America goes, things changed after a few years. My ancestors have fought in every border war in Essex County. During the late 1700s and early 1800s, we were the nation that took in and cared for the fugitive slaves that came seeking freedom in Canada. For years we lived on our land in Malden, but due to the influx of European settlers to the area, our land was sold in secret and we were forced off our land. In 1848, Joseph Brant Clench removed our chief Oshawana and 300 of our people to Chanel-les-Cartes and then to Walpole Island, but some of us refused to give up our traditional lands. So those of us who stayed behind, we fought. Then we moved to Pleasant Valley, one of our hunting grounds. We lived there for a few years until more settlers were moved in, and our land was sold to a man named Hedges. Once again, we were on the move. This time the settlers put us in the swamp. This worked well for us due to the fact that we are agricultural people, so we took the swamp and made it into fertile farmland. Now, fast forward to today, and we are still here. We have had to fight for our land, which means we had to band together and purchase our lands back from the settlers, only to have them change their tax laws and tax us out of our lands. Not only did they tax us out of our land, they also changed our racial identity in order for them to take our land. We tried to prove who we were, but the only structure that housed the treaty and wills was burned down. Interesting note, it wasn't until 2015 did we learn who burned the church down and for what reason. Not only did they burn the church down, they still continued to assault us at every chance they got, from poisoning our well water to encroaching on our land. For years, we petitioned the town and government for recognition, but because we didn't have the proper identification, we were constantly denied, but we still held on and preserved who we are. We still met every year for our family gatherings to show the children their history. It wasn't until the Truth and Reconciliation report came out that I decided to take matters into my own hands. You see, for years I have been gathering any and all government official census. These censuses help to back up our history. With all the new and old information I gained, I quickly emailed the Minister of Indigenous Affairs and said, please reconcile with us. I sent the email, and 3 months later, I received an email, applications, and a guide on how to request land for a reserve. This is great news for my family, as it has helped us in our recognition as Chippewas of Maldwin. Mind you, this is just the beginning of our story. We are nowhere near finished. So now that you know the history of my family, do you still think we come from somewhere else?